There are industry standards to follow when we measure for replacement windows. And because we're only going to talk about measuring for windows in this video, there are only a few things to remember. First, we always call out width first and height second. This is an example of a double hung window, which is an operable or openable window. This is an example of a fixed window, also called a picture window or PW, which is not operable or openable. But whether or not the window can or cannot open, we always call out width first and height second. Next, we need to call out whether we want a window unit, which means we want the window ordered with its jamb frame, or we want to order just the sash or sashes only, meaning we don't need the jamb frame. And either way we want the replacement, whether with or without a jamb frame, the way we measure is the same. That is so important, I will say it again, because it is the most confusing part. It doesn't matter whether we want or do not want a jamb frame. The way we measure the window is the same. Before we get to the videos about how to get our measurements, one other word about double hung replacements where we do not want the jamb frame. Here is our double hung window unit, but we want to order the sashes only. We have an upper sash and a lower sash. First, we can never order just the upper or lower sash only. They are a set, so we can only order them together. Second, what we can't see in this picture is the balance kit. The balance kit is a pair of tracks that the sashes fit into so that they open and close correctly. Here are a couple of pairs from different manufacturers. So when we replace the sashes only in a double hung window, we need the upper sash, the lower sash, and the balance kit all together as a set and all from the same manufacturer. Before we look at a tape measure, let's look at our cutaway mock-up of a window unit to be on the same page about where we are going to measure.
Here is the interior of our window. We can see the drywall on the right, the interior window casing just to the left of that, and the casing is sitting on a window stool. Panning up to the cross-section of the unit, we see the 2x4 framing of the wall on the right, a jack and a king stud. Left of that is a shim, and left of that is the jamb frame of this window unit. This mock-up is of a fixed or picture window. This window would not open. We know this because there is no balance kit cutaway on the mock-up. The sash frame that is holding the glass is butted up against the jamb frame itself, not a balance kit track. This small piece of trim is called a stop. It holds the fixed sash in place, wedged against this part of the jamb frame. Panning to the other cross-section of the window unit, we see the sill and the sill nose, which are pitched at a 15-degree angle to shed exterior water, and the detail of the stool, which has the same angle notched into it so that the top of the stool sits level inside. I bring this up because when we go to get our height measurement on a fixed window, we have to measure from the top of the sill, not the top of the stool. So we need to get an accounting for that since we generally don't remove the stool in order to get our height measurement. So let's get the measurement. Here is the interior of a double hung window we are going to measure. We can look here and see how flexible the balance kit is, which aids with both opening and closing the window sashes and tilting them into the house to clean. Remember, the upper and lower sashes in the balance kit are set from the same manufacturer, and this play in the balance kit is the reason we can't just measure the width of one of the actual sashes. Each manufacturer has a different thickness of balance kit. Here's a piece of interior casing to help us with where we need to measure for the width. Generally speaking, the interior casing is about 1/4 inch set back from the edge of the window jamb frame to create a reveal. To get our width measurement, we set at this point the inside edge of the casing and measure across to the inside edge of the casing on the other side. And as you can see, the width is 32 inches. To get the height, we set our tape on the window sill, not the stool, and up to the head jamb frame and get a height of 74 inches on this window. Here, we are measuring to the inside of the head jamb frame, not the bottom of the small stop. That stop is there as a wind and water barrier for the upper sash. You can better see the point to where we need to measure to when I drop the top sash down. We only need one more measurement, and that is the thickness or depth of the jamb frame. This measurement will be the same finished thickness of the exterior wall, so it is usually 4 9/16 or 6 9/16.
A few more industry standard tips before we recap. First, the widths and heights of the windows we are talking about are always in even inch amounts, no matter the manufacturer. You'll never call out a window size using 1/4 or 3/8 or 3/4. And you'll never call out 27, 29, or 31 either. All manufacturers use 28, 30, 32, etc. Next, both manufacturers and sales reps think in the foot and inch format. Let's look at our window again and see how it's marked.
If you remember, the size for our window was 32 inches by 74 inches. But as you can see on the manufacturer's sticker, the call-out size is 2862. This means 2 foot 8 inches width by 6 foot 2 inches height.
So using the right lingo with your rep helps the conversation along. The other tip is that if you follow everything you have seen here exactly about measuring for the width and you still come up with 31 5/8, it's okay to round up to the next even inch amount. It will fit, I promise. And remember, you can always call somebody who knows more about it than you do. So let's recap. First, always call out width first and height second. Second, clarify you want a window unit in a jamb frame or a sash-only replacement. And third, use the feet and inch format when calling out the window you want.